The Atlanta loss, so it's moving into 7-6. Falcons win. I think we're all kind of split on that one. Split on that one a little bit. Week 15. Chicago Bears come into Minnesota this time. 3 weeks ago, Minnesota Vikings beat down the Chicago Bears. J.J. McCarthy's first game. This will be J.J. McCarthy's second division game, fourth game of the NFL, and I think the Minnesota Vikings beat the Chicago Bears yet again. I think J.J. McCarthy might go undefeated in his division this season. Granted, he didn't start till week 12, right? But he plays the Bears twice. He plays the Packers, and he plays the Lions. He might be undefeated going into the division, and right now, the Vikings have won 3 of their last 4. They've won 2 games in a row. Everything is looking good. Everything is looking clicky until they travel to the West Coast. They travel to the West Coast, and they play in a very hostile stadium, a very controversial stadium in Seattle. Pumping up the noise and whatever, you guys know the controversy there. Vikings are riding sky high. Winners of their last 3 of their last 4. J.J. McCarthy is looking good. J.J. is getting his numbers. Aaron Jones is looking like a young Aaron Jones, like he did toward the end of the season last year with the Packers, running all over people. I still think he's getting another 100 yards for the Dallas Cowboys, still against the Dallas Cowboys. But I think the Seattle Seahawks do win this game. I think the Seahawks are going to be on a mission at this particular point of the season. I do not think the Seahawks will have a chance to win the NFC West, but they'll be battling for that 5, 6, 7 seed till the very last week of the season. I think the Seahawks win. I think they win big. James Frank says JJ balls out. 3 TDs for him in that game, and I think they're beating the Lions twice. I'm not saying that the Vikings will beat the Lions twice, but I'm saying that JJ McCarthy might beat the Lions come week 18. That's what I'm saying. John thinks the Seahawks will win this particular game, moving the Vikings to 8-7 on the season. Lou Man thinks the Vikings will beat the Seahawks as well, moving them to 8-7. Playoff fever in Purple Land. Oof. I don't know. Right now, I have them at 5 wins. 5 wins going into week 17. Green Bay Packers coming to town. Previous to the Seattle game, they had winners of the last 3 of the last 4. Now they're winners of 3 of the last 5. They're still, confidence is still pretty high. J.J. McCarthy is playing well. J.J.'s playing well. That defense is finally starting to look like a pretty good defense. I'm not saying they're top 10 by any stretch of the imagination, but they're playing pretty good defense. Aaron Jones playing his former team again, but this time at home with the Minnesota Vikings. And I think the Vikings beat the Packers in this game. I think the Packers are battling for the NFC North title at this particular point, and they kind of low-key are potentially looking over the Vikings in this game, and the Vikings come up and they bite them and they win this game. Moving the Vikings to 6 wins on the season. Right now I have them at 6-10. 6-10. Lou Man says Pack win this game back to 500. He has them at 8-8. John has them losing to the Packers as well, moving them to 8-8. And James says, I keep forgetting that Jacoby went to Green Bay. Scary. Is it, though? Is it, though? When we talk about the Green Bay Packers tomorrow, we'll be diving deep into this into this Josh Jacobs. We'll be talking about this. Lou Man thinks playoff fever is alive in Minnesota. I think they are firmly out of it at this particular point. I have them at 6 wins on the season. They're having 6-10 going into week 18. Going into Detroit, final game of the season. Vikings really don't have anything to play for at this particular point. I think they're well out of the playoff picture. 6 wins or 7 wins is not going to get you into the NFC playoffs this season unless you're winning the division. And I think the winner of the NFC North will have at least 11 wins. But the Detroit Lions, I think they will be battling for the NFC title in this particular game. This is a must-win game for the Detroit Lions to win the title. and to potentially have a first place seed. So I do think the Lions do win this game, given J.J. McCarthy his first divisional loss as a starter. But on the positive, the Minnesota Vikings finished the season out 4-3, giving them a total record of 6-11. I think they are a 6-11 team. I think Sam Darnold just isn't the guy to really quarterback this team. And the first 9, 10, 11 weeks is really, really rough if you're a Minnesota Vikings fan. Now, I understand that they want to redshirt JJ the whole season. They want to, let him learn on the sidelines and do everything he can from the sidelines. But I think come week, 13, 14 there. Sorry, it'd be 12, be 11, 12. I think finally they pull the trigger and they let JJ become a starter, and they win 3 of 4 and winning 4 of their last 7. I kind of think they get on hot. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Am I too high? Am I too low? John thinks they will finish 8-9 this season. I could see wins over the Jets and the Jaguars. That would give them 8 wins, or the Cardinals even. That would give them 8 wins. I think, John, you are right there in the wheelhouse.